It's not about the food.
Oh, I know. I just like knowing what people are eating. It's a me problem.
Sure, I'm 34 and I work in a mid-sized office that does something with logistics coordination. I usually just say supply chain adjacent when people ask at parties, because the full answer makes their eyes go somewhere else before I finish the sentence. I've been here 6 years, which is long enough that nobody introduces me to new people anymore, and short enough that I still get CC'd on things I probably shouldn't be. I'm not the person who organises the holiday card, and I'm not the person who complains about the holiday card. I don't know why I'm even telling this. Nothing technically happened, which I think is actually why I can't stop thinking about it. The thing that started all of it was the tree, which sounds like the beginning of a metaphor but isn't. There's a parking lot behind our building with exactly one tree that grew close enough to the east row to throw shade over two spaces from about 11:30 to 1. I'd been eating lunch in my car under that tree for 8 or 9 months. Food I'd made Sunday and portioned out. Something with rice, usually, sometimes pasta. I ate in the car because the break room had a rhythm I didn't fit into without effort, and effort at noon felt like something I needed to save. Then, one Tuesday, in the third week of what I can only describe as a deeply unremarkable month, the maintenance crew came through and trimmed the tree back so far it looked embarrassed. And by Wednesday, the car was a greenhouse by 12:15, and that was that.
Oh, the tree situation, right? I saw them out there with the chainsaw thing.
Yeah,
They always go too far with those. Every single time.
I didn't even notice there was a tree back there.
There's still a tree, it's just, well, not much of one anymore.
I just started going to the break room, which is fine. It's a normal thing to do. Most people do it every day and survive. The room itself is small enough that the smell of whatever someone reheated 20 minutes ago still lingers when you walk in. And there's one window that opens about 4 inches and then stops. And the air conditioner cycles off every 20 minutes with a sound like it's making a decision. I usually got there around 12:20, which apparently overlapped reliably with Donna. Donna is 41 and has been here since before the current building. She knows everyone's birthday, not because she writes it down, but because she actually remembers, and she organises the potlucks, and when someone has a hard week, she brings in something baked without being asked, and without making a thing of it. She just operates in a mode where food is a way of saying something, and she never had any reason to think that wouldn't translate.
Is that the rice from yesterday or did you make a new batch?
New batch.
I can never get mine to not go kinda gummy by day 2.
Depends on the rice, I think.
My husband says the same thing, and I still don't know what that means practically.
There's actually a ratio thing. I watched a video about it.
Don't tell me. I'll just feel like I've been doing it wrong for 15 years.
The first day she asked what I'd brought, I answered. It wasn't a strange question. I said it was just rice and chicken. She said it smelled good. I said thanks. And we ate more or less in parallel for 11 or 12 minutes, and then both went back. The second day, she asked again, and I told her. And she mentioned that she used to make something similar, and then switched after her husband said he was tired of it. And I made a sound that meant I was listening. By the third day, I noticed I was answering her question before I sat down, preemptively, the way you repeat your order at a drive-through window before they finish asking. The question had become a structure. The tilt of her head, the glance at the container, and then the opening line. I knew all three were coming before I'd pulled out my chair. It's not about the food.
Oh, I know. I just like knowing what people are eating. It's a me problem.
Sure.
Is there coffee left? Or did someone finish it again?
There was some about 20 minutes ago, so probably not great news.
None of this was a problem exactly. Or it wasn't a problem I had language for, which is almost the same thing except that it keeps you from doing anything about it. My food was mine in a way I'd never had to articulate, because it had never needed articulating. The Sunday cooking, the portioning, the whole quiet operation of feeding myself on what I'd planned and what I could afford. Nobody had ever stood next to that particular thing and asked about it. And now, every day at 12:20, someone was noticing it, commenting on it, incorporating it into conversation. And I was sitting with my container open on the table while the air conditioner cycled off in the background. By the fourth week, I'd started adjusting when I got there. 12:10 instead of 12:20, sometimes quarter to 12, trying to finish before the rhythm had a chance to start. It didn't really work because Donna's schedule was more flexible than mine, and she had no reason to rush, so I'd be halfway through my container, and she'd come in, and the whole sequence would just begin slightly earlier.
You doing okay? You have that, I don't know, that look.
What look?
Like when someone asks how you are and you're deciding whether to answer?
I'm fine.
Yeah, that's the one.
I noticed I started putting the lid back on my container faster than I needed to. I noticed I was stirring my water with a spoon once, twice, more times than the water needed. I noticed I'd stopped actually tasting what I was eating somewhere around day 9, which bothered me more than I expected it to. What I didn't know, and couldn't have known, is that Marcus had been watching the whole thing for about 2 weeks before any of it came to a head. Marcus is 29 and started 4 months ago, and sits close enough to both our desks that he has, through no particular effort, absorbed a detailed picture of how the office actually works versus how it says it works. He'd noticed me coming back from lunch with a specific expression he later described to someone as the face people make right before they say they're fine, which is frankly more perceptive than he had any obligation to be. The day I actually said something out loud was a Thursday. I'd had a meeting that ran late, so I got to the break room at 12:40, already tired in the specific way you get tired when a meeting takes 40 minutes to accomplish something that an email could have done in 4. I sat down and opened my container, and Donna came in 2 minutes later with a Tupperware of something that smelled like tomato and herbs, and she glanced at my container and asked what I'd made this time, and I said, not loudly, not with any particular heat, but with a flatness I couldn't manage around, that I kind of just like to eat without talking about it, actually. There was a silence that had a shape to it. Marcus was at the table 2 down from us. I didn't look at him. Donna said, "Oh, of course. Sorry," in a voice that was careful in a way her voice usually isn't. And I said something like, "No, it's fine, and didn't finish the sentence, and we ate the rest of lunch without talking. Donna left before she finished her container, which she'd never done before. The next morning, Donna was at her desk when I came in, and she said good morning in a normal voice, and I said it back, and we both looked at our screens. I went to the break room at 12:15 and ate alone, and the window was open its 4 inches, and the air conditioner was making its decision. On my way out, I noticed something in the office fridge. A container, plain, medium-sized, with a strip of masking tape on top where someone had written a name. In marker, not mine, not Donna's. Someone from the other end of the floor, probably. And the lid was slightly open, just enough to let the cold air in, the way something gets left when the person who brought it isn't sure yet whether they're coming back for it. I closed the refrigerator door and went back to my desk,